Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of One Punch Man Season 2 review. Now before we get into it, make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure that you go to Hulu to actually watch the episode. Don't come here expecting it to be the full episode. Go watch it on Hulu, Crunchyroll, whatever. So let's get into it. So Garou's backstory was really interesting. We get to see more into his character of like how he views monsters and how he views heroes. And he got this twisted view as a child while he was watching superhero shows that the monsters were the cool guys. The monsters and the villains were the ones he was cheering on. And his bad guy was the hero that would come in and save the day, and he wanted the bad guy to win. I think he would love Thanos, to be fair. He would have loved Infinity War. He would have been happy with that movie. Because he wants the villain to win. And I actually kind of feel this way too sometimes in certain stories where I kind of want the villain to win. The best example of this is Game of Thrones. Now, if you don't watch Game of Thrones, this might be spoilers. But I personally wouldn't have minded if the Night King actually won and killed everybody. That would have been such a shocking and new type of ending that you don't get very often. It would have felt fresh. That's how I feel, but at the end of the day, you do feel nice if the good guys win and everyone's happy. But Garou's not like that. Garou wants the villains to win, and he was so sick and tired of the heroes always coming in and winning that he vowed to himself that he would become an unstoppable monster that would defeat all heroes. And we see that he's trying to do this now that he's an adult because he has pictures of all these heroes and he's just crossing them out one by one, but he hasn't been killing them. That's the thing that I find weird. He hasn't been really killing any of the heroes. He's just been beating the crap out of them, and then he moves on to the next. It's like he's trying to find the one hero that he can't beat, basically, and he's just trying to get stronger that way. The Hero Association starts to notice this, and they also notice kind of what the monsters' motives are. They want to protect their inner circle. Their higher-ups need protection. So they start to call the strong S-rank heroes as bodyguards for some of the higher-ranked officials in the Hero Association. They call up King, and he's like, I'm in a battle right now. I'm kind of busy, I can't do anything. He's just playing video games. And what's with his shirt? He has some weird little girl, fetish or something. This is kind of weird, but yeah, he's just like, I'm in a battle, I'm busy, I can't do it. Obviously he's not. He's not able to do anything, so he kind of just hides away behind lies, but that's just what he does. However, the S-rank hero Metal Bat he's actually guarding some of the higher-ups. It's this rich, ugly-looking dude and his son that looks like a younger clone of him. It's some weirdness is what this is. And Metal Bat really doesn't want to be there, and it's like, I wouldn't either, man. That's not the kind of fun job I would imagine. And he hates them. They keep putting these plates onto this rotating thing where the food comes up and you can take some. There's a place here in Leeds, UK, that you can actually go to a place that has that. It's kind of, I don't remember the name of it, but it's kind of cool because it's some Japanese restaurant where you can just pick up the plates, and whatever. But these guys, they were trying to put the plates back on the thing, and he's like, no, they gotta tally up how much you eat, so you can't just do that. And he was about ready to kill them instead. But he gets a phone call from his sister, and I think it's interesting because what kind of relationship does he have with his sister? Is it some weird, obsessive brother over his sister relationship, or is he hold his sister to a really high esteem and does everything for her? Is there something wrong with her? Is she sickly and he's there to protect her and all this stuff? I'm really interested to see what his relationship with his sister is, because it sounded like she was his boss and that she was crying and yelling and he was really flustered, and he doesn't seem the type of guy to get flustered by very many people. So I want to see more of that and see what's going on with that. So right when he's doing the phone call, these two freaking weird looking monsters show up. I don't know what the hell is the one with the face, like the centipede looking one. That thing is just freaky as hell. They show up to abduct these two rich people, and Metal Bat's not having any of that. I mean, you know he's going in, and he's an S-rank hero, so I mean, it speaks for itself. We go back to Saitama, who is masquerading as Shiranko, I believe the name is. It's so obvious it's not him. Like, it doesn't look, the hair doesn't look exactly the same as Shiranko's. But this guy named Sourface, I believe it was, he has a butt face. He has a butt face. He has a butt cheek chin, like a butt chin, that all these characters seem to have in One Punch Man and Mob Psycho animes. Like, what's with the butt chins? I don't understand. But this guy's butt chin is like firm. Okay, I'm gonna stop speaking about the butt chins. But he shows up to harass Shiranko. And Saitama is like, oh snap, I hope he doesn't find out. He's hiding his face the whole time with a piece of paper, and it's like, in real life, you would notice, like, it's not the right person you think it is, just because a piece of paper is blocking you. Like, anime sometimes is just too funny. So Sourface talks about how there was a person long ago, there was Silver Fang, who won the tournament years ago. And then there was somebody else that showed up that wore like a mask, like a wolf mask, and he won the tournament as well. But they found out apparently that it wasn't actually him. That real guy was beat up, and the wolf guy was Garou, like masquerading as this wolf guy or whatever, just to enter the tournament. And ever since then, it's been illegal to wear masks and disguises and all that stuff. You could get hit with fines and stuff, and Saitama's like, oh my god, is that true? Because he's masquerading as Shiranko, so he's like, oh my god, if they find out, like, I get hit with a fine? Like, oh, if money's involved, I don't think he wants to do it. So it's just funny how he reacts to all of this and trying to hide the fact that he's not actually the guy he says he is. And I've always thought this was interesting about why Silver Fang trained Garou in the first place. Like, wouldn't Silver Fang have noticed that Garou had this evil intent? And it looked like, in a flashback, that Garou kind of played along with the whole martial arts thing, just so he could get strong enough to defeat people that got in his way. And when he felt that he had learned enough and that he wasn't going anywhere anymore, he just proceeded to not kill, but he beat the crap out of everybody around him, including Sourface. And it just shows his evil intent, and it's like, I can't believe Silver Fang never noticed this before, like, while he was training this guy. So Metal Bat has no problem against those lower rank monsters. I mean, you don't even get to see what happens. He beats the crap out of them, and that's it. Like, that's all that happens. Until some new ones show up. But it cuts away back to Garou again, who's hanging out with that boy who has the hero guide or whatever. And it's weird because Garou really tries to be like a monster and hurting people, beating people up against heroes. But then when he's with this kid, he seems so much more human. So he's a monster by himself, just beating everyone up. But when he's with this kid, he's like a normal dude. He's just hanging out. He's nice to the kid. He doesn't hurt him. He doesn't say anything mean to the kid. It's weird. It's almost like he sees himself in the kid, maybe? Or maybe he's not the monster he really thinks he is. So the new monsters show up against Metal Bat, and it's like some plant creature making this gas that makes the two higher-ups fall asleep. While Metal Bat, I guess, is unaffected by it, for a while at least. And then another centipede that's even bigger than the one before, with a creepy freaking face. I don't know what's the human face, like an old man looking human face, is nasty as hell. But what was off-putting was the CGI. I didn't like that they did CGI for the centipede. They could have easily done animation, but, you know, like cutbacks, it's not Madhouse. Whatever, it's CGI, that's just how it is. I do like that it's not full CGI. They kind of CGI with the animation drawn on top of it a little bit, because it looks animation, but the way that it's moving is very unnatural compared to how everything else is moving. You can tell it's CGI. It's very out of place when you see it moving. Metal Bat starts to fall asleep, and so what does he do? He hits himself in the head with his bat. He hits until he's blood pouring down his face, and he wakes himself up. It's like, this guy's nuts. Like, you see a guy hitting himself in the head with a baseball bat. In real life, you just run. You just get the hell out of there. You don't mess with a person like that. He then proceeds to kill these two bug creatures, monsters, whatever you want to call them. And he does it in the most badass way where the centipede literally blows up into a billion pieces behind him. And it was epic. The animation was a little bit weird at times, but other than, I mean, I expect it now. I'm getting used to it. So I don't really mind it in the end. It's something I do notice, so I have to address it, but it's not like a big deal for me. So then another centipede shows up, and this one is like god level centipede. This one's so huge, it could destroy the whole city just by itself, pretty much. And I'm like, how the hell is Metal Bat gonna defeat this thing? Because this thing's in a whole nother level with another creepy old man face on the monster's body. Like, is that even its real face? Because it has a mouth and it has these yellow eyes, but then what's with the old man face? Because Metal Bat figures out that it's a weak spot for it, but it's not that weak to where he could defeat it. So Metal Bat is not doing too good against this enormous centipede. This thing knocks him completely out, like clear across the city, hits the concrete, against the fence, done. Right next to Garou, which happens to be walking around the town. I love how the people are always running and screaming that it's the end of the world. Like, who would want to live in this city after all of this? I would find an island somewhere and just live my days away from this stuff, because there's like a monster killing people like every single day. Every day. All the time in this city. It's like, I would be so tired of it. Like, I'm new monster, like, so what, I guess. But anyways, Metal Bat's there, and Garou sees him, but Garou thinks he's dead, and he sees the monster, so he goes over there. But no, Metal Bat's still alive, and it looked like he's completely unharmed by that giant centipede's attack, so well done, Metal Bat. So Garou proceeds to attack him, without questions asked. Just like, oh, you're alive? Okay, like, I'm gonna kill you now. And Metal Bat blocks a hit from Garou, like, so expertly. I was like, wow, this guy is on another level. I love the S-Class heroes are like, they're way beyond any of the other ranks in terms of power and skill. But unfortunately, that's where the episode ends, so we have to wait till next week to see how this fight turns out. After the end credits, we see a newcomer for the tournament, some kind of nice-looking guy that's hitting on these two girls. So I'm interested to see who he is. He's in the intro as well. So he might be a contender for the tournament or something. Maybe he's one of those that thinks he's amazing, but he's really not. I don't know, but I can't wait for next week. I would have to give this episode probably a 7 out of 10. It would be an 8, but this episode was a bit slower. A little bit more story-driven, a little bit on Garou and how he is. The whole scene with Sourface and Saitama was kind of slow. But I mean, it was comedic at first, but it kind of dragged on a little bit too much, because the guy just kept talking and talking, with Saitama not saying literally like anything. Until the end, he was saying a little bit, which is weird because you think the guy would notice that it's not Sharanko's voice. But it was that, and the CGI put me off, and the animation dipped quite a bit compared to last week. Last week's animation was like amazing. This week's, it felt more like episode 1, episode 2 type of thing. So with all that being said, a 7 out of 10 is what I'll give it. So let me know what you guys think. Did you enjoy the episode? What were your favorite parts? And what would you give this episode? Would you give it a higher rating, a lower rating? Let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, and check out my other videos, like the gaming videos that I do, the monthly reviews, all that good stuff. I'm starting to do live streams of Attack on Titan every week, so you can watch the episode with me if you have your own footage from Crunchyroll or wherever you watch it from. And I'll catch you guys next week, so have yourselves a great one.